I think you have heard ancient philosophy in India and China and some other countries maintained that our mind is in our heart. We maintained this belief for thousands of years. That is why still we use these terms like kind-hearted, cruel-hearted, because we believe that kindness and cruelties are in our heart. In that case, heart transplantation is very dangerous. Understand? When a cruel man's heart is given to innocent man, completely changes mentality and attitudes and way of life. That is why we should not take for granted these age-old belief, traditional belief, without analyzing and studying. However, modern scientists, especially medical science, rejected that belief that mind is in our heart. Then they found out that the mind is in our brain. So according to their observation, the activity, how our brain functions, definitely they thought that our mind is in our brain. So naturally, when we want to talk about our mind, our hand goes, like this. This mind, This is also a traditional belief. But later, when psychologists, especially parapsychologists, studied, analyzed, and observed very carefully, and they found out that the mind is not located anywhere in our body, neither in our heart nor in our brain. This is the latest development. Then where it is located? Mind is an energy, like electricity. Electricity is not located anywhere, but conditions or friction of elements produce this energy. Atom or atomic energy is not located anywhere, but there are so many forces, electrons, neutrons, protons, and so many things. The Buddha's teaching is called doctrine of analysis. Please remember this word. Because there are very many doctrines, teachings, philosophy, religious belief. One religious group maintain all these things that exist in this universe have no causes or reasons. Thus, accidentally, it's a coincidence. Our appearance here in this world has taken place accidentally, not planned by anybody, not created by anybody, and there are no previous causes. And this belief was rejected by the Buddha. Then another group, majority, maintain the life and everything that exists in this whole universe is created by a supernatural, a powerful God. created by God. And this God has become the first cause. This belief also rejected by the Buddha, because he did not accept that there is only one cause for all those things which exist. Then what did he say? There are so many causes, not only one cause. There are so many conditions and reasons. There are so many factors and energies and elements and forces. Then all those things combined together, different forms of existence, life, animate or inanimate, or by taking different shape, color, things come into existence. And then he analyzed. Take one physical body. What are the elements and energies and ingredients? Without depending on any supernatural living beings or any particular first cause. When this imasmin sati idang hoti. Now this is the Buddha said. When this comes into existence, that appears. When this one exists, another one will appear. When that one exists, another one will appear. But not only one. There are so many factors, energies, forces in that one particular unit. So existence takes place because of this. Otherwise no existence. In that existence, changes take place because of the combinations of elements and energies. So, the scientific analysis about our mind and psychological interpretations gives a clear picture by rejecting mythological, traditional, superstitious beliefs maintained by many people or many religionists. So the Buddha has given this clear picture in brief when he said there must be so many factors, so many energies, so many forces for life to come into existence. And then scientists analyze further. So when you analyze atom, you can understand how many energies and forces are there in that particular energy. So, mind is an energy that exists in our physical body just like electricity, current, not located either in our heart nor in our brain. Easiest way for us to understand this, when heart and brain combine together, there will be friction. So the heart is just like a dynamo. Brain is like engine. When engine and dynamo, these two, combine together. Combine means friction. Electricity, energy appears. Otherwise, energy is not located anywhere. This electricity is not located anywhere. Because of that friction, fire, electricity come into existence. So in the same manner, when the brain and heart work together, their friction produce the mind. Again, let us refer to the Buddha. How life come into existence. Viññānaṁ mātukuchismiñ okkamati. The departed person's viññāna. What is viññāna? Consciousness. What is consciousness? It's a very rich mental energy. Among those four mental faculties, viññāna or the consciousness is the richest mental energy where we can find so many ingredients. What are those ingredients? The object that we grasp, bring through our senses and imaginations. These 6 channels always bring objects into our mind. Deposit. Good and bad, good and bad. When the mind is struggling either to reject or to accept, this is a very big burden to that poor mind. That is why we have no peace. We are in fear. Always tensions, uncertainty, unhappiness, insecurity. And we become crazy because of this. Mind has no chance to relax. Then when we talk about meditation, what we do, without allowing these 6 channels to bring this rubbish into the mind, we close the doors completely. These 6 channels completely closed. Then the mind is alone. The nature of the mind is such that mind cannot keep quiet. Then some sort of unrest or restlessness take place in the mind. When the mind is alone, mind cannot exist with another mind. Never. Husband and wife also, although they live together for 100 years, their minds are separate. 2 minds are not working together, always separate. Durang gamang eka charang asarirang guhasayang ye chittang sanyamesanti mukhanti mara bandhana, saying in Dhammapada. Here the way how Buddha has analyzed and explained the mind, where it is, what it is, the nature, the characteristics of the mind. Durangama runs very, very fast. There is nothing here in this universe that we can compare with our mind which can run so fast. When you compare lightning into our mental energy which runs faster, the mind can run even 1,000 times faster than lightning. This is the nature of the mind, the human mind. Eka charang, live alone. 2 minds never get together, live together individually. Eka charang. Asarirang, no sarira, no formation, no visible or tangible formation, no mental body. It is an energy. Now this is the way how others explain the eternal soul. So no formations, no color, no appearance, but soul exists. That is their belief. Asarira, guha sayang, That is the misleading word. Live in a cave. Guha means cave. That is why in those days people thought that mind must be in our heart. So there is a cave inside the heart. Here, the whole body as guha, as a cave, not one particular organ. Then the Buddha says, Ye chittang sanyamittanti. If anyone can train this mind, discipline this mind, mukkanti marabandhana. He is the one who can escape, get rid of death. So by praying and worshipping and worrying, we cannot stop death. But by training and training and training, when that mental energy reach the higher stage, now then we can stop death. No more death. This is the way how the Buddha has introduced this. So your question is, the heart is just like a mirror. Heart means mind. Still I did not explain the vijnana, consciousness, which depart or transmits when we die. With the last breath, we think only the wind. Invisible energy. Now, when you take a remote control, and it's a very simple example, even small children can understand. When you operate a remote control from here, we can start lorries and buses and motor cars, toys played by the children, and turn this way and this way, bring back. But can you see anything in between this and that? Nothing. When we take X-ray camera, of course there will be reaction, but we cannot see anything. But immediately they can produce the film. So what about mental energy? This mental energy is thousands and millions times more powerful than any of those machines. So, when this mental energy is departed, I told you the name of that mental energy at that stage is called vijnana, consciousness. Just now I told you there are 6 kinds of ingredients in that mental energy. 5 senses and the mental image. Besides, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, 3 other mental faculties always influence energies, mental energies with ingredients. Vedana, our feeling, our sensation. When we gain or experience some sort of pleasant or unpleasant feeling, we change our mental attitude. Either we express our happiness or emotional satisfaction, or complain and cry and worry and curse and accuse. By doing that, we influence our mental energy in that mental faculty, Vedana, feeling, sensation. And the reflection reach that consciousness. So when you worry, when you cry, when you laugh, when you feel very happy, all these things deposited in the consciousness, influence. Then, sanya. have to remember these words, these are the technical terms. And preparing a book, collecting all these technical terms like this, then easily people can understand and explain in simple language. Sanya, our recognition. We recognize or identify this is so and so. This is another mental faculty. This is good. This is bad. This is medicine. This is food. This is poison. This is one mental faculty. And that recognition influences the mind. If it is very tempting object, then we change the mental attitude. If it is very repulsive or dirty or ugly or wicked or dangerous thing, again we change the mental attitude because of that recognition. If that person is our enemy, we change our mind. If that person is our good friend, again we change a different aspect. Now you can understand how we change our mental attitude according to our recognition. And this recognition also influence our vijnana, the consciousness. And the last one is the most important. That is called sankhara. There are two meanings in this word. Now you are in advanced level, therefore you have to learn various aspects. The word sankhara, when we analyze, there are two meanings. In one place, the Buddha used this word for all our good and bad mental tendencies, habits, our character, our nature, our behavior, our temperament, our attitude, our moods, our way of life, our likes and dislikes, thousands and one things. Mental attitude. Under this word, sankhara. Another place, the Buddha used the same word, sankhara. Anicca vatta sankhara. Whenever there is a funeral, we always recite this. Anicca vatta sankhara. All those component things, compounded things, are anicca, impermanent. Never remains permanently without changing. This is the nature of existence. So we have to face facts. We have to learn this. Not to worry when changes take place. That is why it is necessary for us to learn these things. Train our mind to face fact. When changes take place, there is nothing for us to worry or cry or fight. It is natural. Then what is this sankhara? Here, another meaning. Uppado panyayati, vayo panyayati, thitassa anyatattang panyayati. Three characteristics. Easy to understand. Uppado panyayati. We can see things appear, come into existence. Light, plant, stones, rocks, jungles, houses, many things come into existence, appear. Then the next stage is the thing that which appeared or come into existence start to change. Changing means growing, developing. This is called development. It is changing. After that, turn the other way around. Turn down. Downwards, then go down and down and down, and this is called decay and decay and decay and decay, decline. So can you point out anything that which exists in this whole universe which is free from these three characteristics? It come into existence definitely must change and decay. This is the nature. Then the third stage. Vayopanyayati, disappear. Decay, disintegrate, dissolve, absorb again into the same elements and energies, disappear. That person, that building, that tree, no more, disappear. This appearance does not mean complete destruction. Visual object, due to combinations of those elements and energies, dissolve, disintegrate. That is called disappearance. That is called death. But there are so many unknown, unseen, unimaginable forces. The continuity of these forces, no one can stop. Whether they believe or not, belief is not important. Things never take place according to our belief. We can believe any rubbish in this world. Belief means imagination. There is no reality in your belief. If you want to know what it is, then analyze. To analyze, you have to learn. Otherwise, what are you going to analyze? So, here the meaning of sankhara, everything that which exists, which has these three characteristics, appear, decay, disappear, again reappear, decay, disappear, again reappear, decay, disappear, then become wheel. This we call wheel of existence because of this. So where is the beginning, where is the first cause? Here sankhara means this. But here, what I am talking about the mind, sankhara means all our mental tendencies, mental activities, which are divided into three groups: kusala karma, akusala karma, and neutral karma. Many things that we are doing by thinking and talking and doing are neutral, neither morals or immorals. If they are related to morals, then it will become kusala karma, good karma. If our thoughts, words and actions are related to immorals, then they become akusala or bad karma. Easy to understand. So they are not sins. We never use the word sins. So, here sankhara means all our mental activities, good and bad, that we maintain life after life as our habits. Then we use them. And the formations of our life, our mentality, our character, our temperament, our knowledge, our understanding, our ability, intelligence, stupidity, all these things depend on this. There is nothing for us to take from outside. No external influence, our own. Now, I'm going to explain the nature of vijnana, consciousness. Now you can understand how rich this consciousness is. These three mental faculties, our feeling or sensation or identifications and mental habits, influence the consciousness. Actually influence the mind. When all these things are accumulated, we use another name at that stage for that mind. When all these things are accumulated, we use another name at that stage for that mind. That is called vijnana, consciousness, but the same mental energy. So when we die, that consciousness transmits from here. It is not mere mental energy. It is not a soul or spirit. Now you can understand how many ingredients are there in this mental energy. Then few more forces. Avidya, Trishna, Karma, Upadana, Bhava. 5 more mental energies. Again join it. What are these things? Avidya. Our imaginations, without analyzing and understanding, that we maintain in our mind, remains as ignorance. We have learned, we have heard so many things from our childhood. We maintain them as truths or facts. But later, when you study, analyze, and think and observe, you come to know most of these dogmas, superstitious ideas, imaginations, and mythologies. But take time to understand. Maturity, education, understanding, experience, thinking, then you can understand. Otherwise we maintain all these rubbish ideas. That is ignorance. It is in our mind. This ignorance nurtures all the other evil thoughts in our mind. Supports. The more we reduce our ignorance, the more we become pure, clear. Then Krishna. Our cravings, attachments, inclinations that we have developed, very deep. This craving we never give up under any circumstances. We are willing to suffer physically and mentally, but not ready to give up. The nature of craving. So this craving also supports this consciousness. Then karmas, good and bad activities that we have performed, committed during our lifetime, which are accumulated in the subconscious mind, influence. At the dying moment, just like a film show, all these mental activities are working and reflect and focus. That man can see all these things, what he has accumulated during his lifetime. He is unconscious. Subconscious and the normal mind, these two things are very active. Upadana, grasping, holding. Because during our lifetime we have developed attachment, clinging to so many things, like glue. So we stick to those things, objects, ideas, beliefs that we have developed during our lifetime. Then in the end, the karma formation. Karma formation means at the dying moment, three signals, pictures appear. All the other activities have been completed. So the last picture is this. Before our death, one of those karmas that we have done during our lifetime appear in our mind as last thought. No more thoughts after that. Close the chapter from there. When this karma, which have been influencing in our mind for a long time, get the chance to appear easily. Take for instance, if you have done something very bad, very cruel, very wicked thing, which bothers your mind always, that particular karma can get the chance to appear in your mind at the last moment. Because this appear again and again and again and again in your mind. If not, you have done something very good, or some service to relieve others' suffering, or you saved somebody's life who is going to die. Always you remember this. The happiness that appear in your mind can get the chance to come forward, to appear at the last thought before you die. If not, certain things that you have done as your habit in your day-to-day life, maybe a minor thing, but your habit, every day repeating, get the chance. That particular karma appear in the mind. Good one or bad one. Then the effect of this karma appear as a signal. Whether you are going to have a pleasant or unpleasant life hereafter. So according to your mental habits, you experience some vision that the mind is used to experience this earlier. Either good one or bad one, that is the indication. Immediately after that, the last one will appear. It's called Gati Nimitta. Indication to point out your destiny, your fate hereafter, where rebirth takes place. Whether you are going to become a human or animals or devils or ghosts or deva or brahmas. Not after your death, before your death, that picture appears. When that one appears, now the rocket is ready, started. When the last signal appears, the rocket started. In that rocket, just now I explained how many ingredients are there. Now it runs, either this way, or this way, or this way, or that way. Inside, the karmic energy is direct, we have to go, either this way or that way. That the blue, this one, develop attachment towards one particular direction or area. Then the craving that we had for existence and living and enjoyment, pull. Earlier I explained so many other energies there. Then the Buddha says, Viññānaṁ mātukucchismiṁ vakkamati. That particular consciousness, Viññāna, with so many ingredients, will be dropped or settled down or landed mātukucchismiṁ, in the mother's womb. Either humans or animals or test tube. no difference. So, Buddhism never collapsed just because of modern discoveries. The more they discover, the more they come nearer to the Buddha. Then, status. Combined with the matters and elements, join. Nama, Rupa, joined together there. That is the junction. When this one departed from here, only mental energy, consciousness. When it is landed, join with the matters and elements. So the nucleus of a life is already originated, invisible. Now then, start to develop. After developing, then the mental faculties start to develop. After these mental faculties, senses start to develop. After their development, grasping object from outside again. Even in the mother's womb, they can catch sound. Doctors advise expecting mothers to play nice music, but not rough and tough like rock and roll. Very soothing music and chanting. It's very soothing and very nice. Baby listening inside after certain period. Of course, cannot use the other senses. So the 6 mental faculties, the senses already developed, 4 mental faculties developed, and the life is completed and given birth. Again start another house. Building another house means another life. But use the same ingredients. Our habits, our knowledge, our understanding, our criminal-minded attitude and religious-minded attitude, intellectual attitude, all these things are there in those ingredients. So what you learn today, remember, you can continue. You never drop all these things here. If you abuse your knowledge by learning rubbish and immoral and wicked things, these things also support you to mold your next life, but the life cannot become a fortunate one. So this is the only advantage that we human beings gain. That means we can understand, we have potentials, opportunities to mold our life. But other living beings have no such opportunity. They use what they have accumulated. Let us take animals. They too have some good karma. Due to certain bad karmas, although rebirth has taken place, animals, but they do not know anything about their future or the life. But we human beings can understand. Now why are you here today? Instead of going to nightclub, why are you here today? You have to sacrifice so many things to come here. Your commitment, your responsibilities, your enjoyment, your television programs, even at the risk of your house and property, by driving a long distance in spite of rain, because you have learned to appreciate. You know you can continue this noble way of life. So, I still not completed the answer to your question. Just now you told us how to clean those dust and rubbish that we have accumulated. My dear friend, within one period, one life, amount of rubbish and dirt that we accumulate into our mind, so many layers. Every time when you develop our anger, jealousy, grudge, ill will, enmity, and craving, and worrying, and crying, accusing, all these things completely dirty our mind. So a man who lives by 80 to 90 years, can you imagine amount of rubbish that he collects in his mind? Completely close within one lifetime. Then again we are going on paying and paying and paying. for all the bad deeds that we have done, then reducing, again replace. Then where is the end of it? So during the time that you spend for meditation or listening to the Dhamma, now you spend more than an hour. And within this period, 2 hours, you did not allow your mind to collect rubbish, to dirty your mind. See the advantage. You are listening, concentrating, trying to learn something, then you stop collecting rubbish into your mind. At the same time, you enrich your knowledge and understanding. You also clean certain dirt from your mind, your doubt, your misunderstanding, your ignorance, your hatred, your anger, your jealousy, also reduce after listening. So when we meditate, what we do? We stop all these things, keep the mind alone without allowing other things to disturb, then use full mental energy to arrest this, then accumulate mental energy. This mental energy cleans the dirt from the mind. Take long time, going on cleaning, brushing, washing, cleaning. Meditation means cleaning the mind. So you never lose anything. You can have very peaceful, pleasant life, and you gain more strength and courage and knowledge and understanding. Life becomes meaningful. So only method, by learning also we can cleanse the dirt. But that knowledge alone cannot cleanse that mind completely, because certain things are hidden in the mind. So when we meditate, what we do, now you can see our normal way of breathing and deep breathing. The doctors say early morning, you get up and come out and take deep breath. Hold. When you hold, our deep breath opens our lungs. Then oxygen and supplies to the lungs, support to maintain healthy lungs. If you do not open this fully, as normal way breathing is only like this, but still some dirt remains there, oxygen cannot penetrate into this one. So when we meditate, what we do, we completely open our mind, then arrest, without allowing all the rubbish, then guard our mind. Then slowly take out one by one all the rubbish through meditation. But simply by praying to any god, by praying to Buddha or anybody, don't ask to come and cleanse your mind. Exactly 1 hour. Akasattha Brahmattha Devanaga Mahijjika Punyantang Anumoditva Kirang Rakkhantu Loka Sasanang Ittavata Chayamhehi Sambhatang Punya Sampadang Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabba Sampatti Siddhya Devo Asatu Kalena Satsa Sampatti Hetu Che Pito Bhavatu Loko Che Raja Bhavatu Dhammiko Idangu Nyati Nang Hotu Sukita Hontu Nyatayo Imina Punya Kammena